Hi everybody, you've got Lauren Tida here, Senior Executive Editor for Phoenix Home and Garden Magazine. I am here with Bennett McGregor. Bennett is a landscape designer who's done some amazing homes here in the Valley, and he also happens to be one of our 2023 Masters of the Southwest, so congratulations, Bennett.
Thank you.
This is one of your projects. Can you kind of walk us through a little bit?
Sure. So this is, we're in Whisper Rock development in Scottsdale. This is about a year old of planting at this point. It's very sculptural is the intent for these types of plants and trees. It's a contemporary home that we wanted to contrast with organic, large specimens, and the coloring as well of these plants is important to kind of make sense with the house. You know, these light greens and silvers, but also the contemporary forms of the house, the rectilinear forms we wanted to contrast with organic forms.
Your thing, the magic of what you do is embracing the desert. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So especially at this house, I want this home to come up out of the desert. I want it to feel like the desert comes right in, and many places at the house, I want it to be seamless where the desert and the house meet. As you get closer in, a lot of these materials are a little more soft, they're a little more aromatic, they're leafier, but at this home particularly we wanted to keep still the sculptural forms. We brought in these surface select granite boulders that match the existing outcrops that happen on this north and south side of the house. And we didn't want really any fencing, we just wanted to capture the desert that's on the outside perimeter of the house. And that means all sorts of animals can come in. We've been navigating javelina coming in and what they kind of don't eat, even though we've planted it, they shouldn't eat it. They still test it out sometimes. So this is probably the third kind of generation of some of these plants, and it seems like we're going to be good to go.
One of the things I found interesting about your story is that you weren't born with a green thumb. This kind of came from a love of art. Can you kind of delve into that?
So from Massachusetts originally and got to Arizona in '82, and I was a sophomore in high school, and but always loved art and always loved design, as we talked. And so this understanding of these materials is because I had to. Like, if I want to create this, and this is the media, I had to understand what works in the desert, what works seasonally, and what works with animals. So it's very much learn through doing and failing, and what doesn't work, you figure out why, and you pick like your next choice. And so now I have a whole palette of plants that I know what works, and it's just over time you understand it.
Just for our readers, what is your advice? What do you think is the secret sauce for achieving the perfect desert oasis?
Definitely speak to a professional, but if you're your own professional, you're doing your own thing, dive into the books. Desert Botanical Gardens, awesome place to go. And just look around and see what also is working. There's some plants that freeze every winter, right? And so knowing how these plants react in different seasons, you're going to experience this, and some of them just won't work. So if you want to keep at it and have it work, you have to keep at it and expect some loss and then just learn from it. I think essentially just deep dive in reading and asking a professional.
All right, well, thank you, Bennett, and
Sure.
Congratulations on the Masters of the Southwest win. Again, that is our Masters of the Southwest issue. It's on newsstands today, so don't forget to pick up a copy and to read the rest of Ben's story.